Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate, and I am thankful to have you here for today's pick a card reading. We're doing something pretty fun today. I'm really excited for this topic. We're going to be looking at what do others love about you, especially we're going to be going over things that you may not fully give yourself credit for, or maybe some things that you look past in yourself that other people really love about you. So I'm really excited to see what comes through. There are 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the True Heart Tarot deck. This is actually my first tarot deck that I was gifted this tarot deck for Christmas, and so it's the first one I actually learned tarot through. Anyways, just thought I would share that. So this is the Black Obsidian Crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Wild Unknown Tarot with this smoky quartz crystal. For pile number 3, we have the Tattoo Tarot with this orange calcite. I believe this is orange calcite. It could be citrine, but this is what it looks like. So take whatever time you need to tune into which pile you're feeling drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one pile, it may be that there are messages for you in more than one pile. For the extended reading, we are going to be looking into who is your secret admirer, like who has secret feelings for you, who has feelings for you that they have not expressed. So as always, there's no pressure, but if you are interested in the topic, I will have it linked down below. I'm trying to think of anything else. I will have the timestamps linked down below along with all of the decks that I'm using if you guys are interested. So I will see you at your pile, and I'm looking forward to getting into it. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the True Heart Intuitive Tarot deck and the Black Obsidian Crystal, we will be looking at what other people love about you that you may overlook in yourself. So we're going to start off with tarot, and then we'll be pulling additional oracle cards to see what else comes through. So for our pile number 1, please tap me into pile number 1's energy. What does pile number 1, what do people love about pile number 1? What is their most lovable traits? What gift do they give to others? What makes pile number 1 so lovable? We have the 8 of Cups. We have the Queen of Cups. The King of Cups. Wow. So you guys may have water in your chart. We have all cups energy coming through. So Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. The Empress. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first thing I'm seeing, I'm just not even going to finish the spread because I'm already getting downloads about this. I feel like you guys are true empaths. So I would be surprised if you guys didn't already see yourself as someone that definitely can intuit information. You guys feel very intuitive, very caring, very warm, and very connected with other people. I feel like people feel very nurtured by you, very nurtured in your presence. And I'm also seeing that what makes you so lovable with the 8 of Cups coming out first is that you're so in tune with your emotional body that you set this precedence, and I think it's inspiring for other people. People have seen you empower yourself, because with the Empress coming out underneath the 8 of Cups, it feels like what people love about you is that you don't settle, and you've learned to walk away from situations that aren't serving you or showing you your worth. There's such a nurturing energy coming through for you guys. I just saw Temperance. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for pile number 1, what makes him so lovable? What do others love about pile number 1? The Ace of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Literally, you have all Cups cards and the 4 of Pentacles at the back of the deck. Yeah, I feel like this group, there's just an abundance of water energy. Like, I feel like you guys have such an open heart chakra. I feel like you're always willing to hold space for people. And I feel like you just emotionally nourish people. You also, what people love about you is no matter what you've been through, you're like a self-renewing cup. I'm seeing like a cup that never empties. I don't know if there's a cup like this, but it's almost like no matter how much is it's people see you as like very abundant when it comes to your emotions, basically, and what you have to share. This doesn't have to be, um, for some of you guys, I'm seeing that you may have a partner that is on your level. And so I think people see you as someone who is extremely emotionally fulfilled, and they feel like who you are um, just attracts in ultimate fulfillment. Like people feel like through you, they can follow your path and find their own fulfillment. I feel like you serve as a role model to a lot of people, whether they tell you this or not. Um, yeah, with the Ten of Cups here, it's like people see you as like this family person. I'm getting like such an intense divine feminine energy. People feel like there's a very grounded nature to you. There's a sense that with the Four of Pentacles here, it's like even though you have such like an intense force about you and such an intense emotional quality, and sometimes that emotional quality can be destructive, there's a feeling that you've really grounded your divine feminine or grounded your um emotions into stability. Like there's just this extremely mature energy where it's like you've mastered your emotions and you've learned. It's not to say that like you're perfect, it's just to say that with someone who has such an intense depth of emotion and ability to be intuitive and empathic, it's like you've learned to walk away from situations that caused instability for you, and now it feels like people see you as this person that's thriving. That it's like you have a green thumb everywhere you go. You bring this Venusian energy to you. Yeah, there's also a really strong Venus, motherly, loving, balance, harmony, um, renewal, cleansing. Like there's something about you that's so like there's this blessed energy. Like people feel blessed in your presence. I am seeing you might have a counterpart that people look up to you guys, or there's just a feeling that people like the way that you're balanced within your feminine energy, but also your masculine. Like there's a feeling that there's this balance to your energy, although it does come through very feminine. I'm going to get some oracle cards now. What do people love about pile number one? People see you as so abundant and like you always bounce back, or you never close your heart. There's a feeling that yes, you've maybe gone down wrong paths before, but there's this feeling that you've always been walking towards your true path. And I'm hearing like the temple path. There's a feeling that people really see you as someone who follows their heart, and people admire this about you, that you're able to follow your heart and attract people into your life and partnerships that mirror back this abundant energy. You're a role model for people, and I feel like even people from your past that maybe if you didn't end up on a good note with them, it's like people still would have a hard time really saying anything negative, and a lot of times I feel like it would just be people's own projections onto you. People feel like you're going to be very happy. Like people just see you as very emotionally fulfilled, and like you are a magnet to that because of who you are. And people feel this sense of security and emotional safety around you. People love how they feel like that they won't be rejected by you. They feel like they can open up to you and be who they are. Like there's this authenticity as well. There's this true heart authenticity. Like people love how that you have such good intentions. Like they know that your intentions are always pure. You're very trustworthy as well. What do people love about pile number one? We have damsel here. So it says, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Yeah, I definitely feel like with this Venus energy, people are inspired by the fact that you may have I feel like you're a relationship person. So what people admire about you, I feel like you're very attractive. just because you have this Venusian energy to you. I feel like you guys are very beautiful, and I feel like you guys have walked away from situations where your worth wasn't being seen, and I feel like you've stepped into your own independence, and that's what I'm really seeing, understanding the nature of healthy romance. So I don't know if you guys have a healthy relationship around you, um, but it feels like for somehow like people admire this relationship you have. So I am really getting this could be an actual person in your life that you may just be like currently in this very healthy soulmate kind of relationship. And even if it's maybe friendship, but there's something here where the people that are really close to you, it's like you model this really healthy form of um, interdependence rather than codependence. And I feel like you have this emotional accountability about you. And so it's like the people around you are also emotionally accountable for themselves. And so I feel like you're really modeling this emotional abundance that we can have in this world. And I feel like you guys are forerunners in being the blueprint for healthy dynamics, healthy emotional dynamics where we aren't expecting someone to heal us, or we aren't putting all of our emotional weight on someone. There's just this feeling of extreme emotional health about you. Um, and you having walked away from situations that were anything less than this. So people love that you have this standard. It's inspiring how you have this standard for yourself. And even if you haven't, even if you're not in a connection right now, it could be a sign that soon you will be in one, because this could be an energy you're moving into. Because with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, it's like there's a feeling that you're going to manifest someone that matches this vibration that you've moved into, this Empress energy, and someone with an equally open heart. I feel like you've had to walk away from situations where people weren't reciprocating your open heartedness. And so people see this about you, and people respect how you don't settle for less than what you give to other people. So for those of you that don't have this counterpart yet, I do see this person coming in. It's either that people see how through you walking away from situations that were unfulfilling emotionally, you set this standard of abundance mindset instead of scarcity, because sometimes people stay in emotionally unhealthy relationships because they don't believe that there would be someone that could, or they don't believe in their own worth, and they don't believe that there's something better for them. But what people admire about you is you're willing to take that risk because you have that abundance mentality. And it's like people appreciate that you only want what's equal to you. Like you have this standard for yourself, where if you're a Queen of Cups, you want your King of Cups, even in other people, even in friendships. It's like there's a feeling that there's a certain energy about you where it's like if people aren't going to come to the deep end and meet you, they're not going to make it, you know? It's like you have such this like open-hearted energy that people that aren't ready to be open fall away from your path, and you don't chase them. And so there's this admirable quality about you, this self-protective quality as well. Like you hold your peace, and people also really want to hold on to you. Like you're an unforgettable person. What do people love about pile number one? There's this protective, nurturing quality about yourself. All right, we have student, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. And then we have child divine, innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. Yeah, so I think people see you with this very pure heart, like the main thing coming through. And then we also have child orphan at the back of the deck. So I feel like you have had your struggles in your past. And I do feel like this is an elevated version of you that people are seeing. And so who you're becoming and who you have become, I would say in the past like 2 to 3 years, is what people are really admiring about you. And with this student card coming out, there's this feeling that you have this humility to you, and it's like you're always learning. And no matter how abundant you become, you never become ungrateful or egoic. Like there's a feeling of such appreciation for life and the way that life teaches you. There's this openness, there's this intuitive intelligence about you, and with this connection with the divine, it's like you're very, very intuitive. And I feel like you intuit a lot of your psychic gifts or your intuition through your heart chakra. And so that always leads you to moving with your heart, basically. And so I feel like you're not you're not really stuck in your brain in a lot of ways. Certain people can be like, you're able to flow. There's this very fluid nature to you where it's like, if you get new information, you're not going to fight against it because it's not what you hope for or not what path you're on. Like your ego, you have an ego that is very healthy in the sense that it is open to learning and it is receptive. Like you're very receptive to knowledge and you're receptive to guidance is what I'm hearing, especially from maybe your own spirit guides, if you guys resonate with that, where it's like you're receptive to what your gut is telling you. I feel like you guys are the type of people who will know very quickly if someone around you doesn't have a good energy. It's like, I feel like people around you have noticed that you have a spiritually protective energy around you, meaning that it's almost like without even knowing, you curve around people that just don't have a good vibration because your heart tells you that. But yeah, there's just this purity, innocence, purity, and redemption. It's like no matter what path you walk down, even if it wasn't the right path, it's like you always return back to this heart of yours and you always return back to your true form. And because that vibration is so strong. So yeah, this is a very, very spiritual pile, I would say, a pile that's very connected with water and Venus, and like I'm even getting Libra. I don't know if you guys have like Libra rising, but there's just this very fair energy about you where you're not going to make people feel bad. You're not going to lash out at people. I feel like the biggest move you make is like walking away from situations or putting in boundaries and holding your stance where you are and not lowering yourself to go to other people's level, yet staying like you're still humble, with this student card here. And you're always learning, you're always progressing. People feel like you're always growing. You're with the Ace of Cups, you're always open to new developments, you're always open. There's just this really strong open energy about you. And that's that Empress energy too. It's the sacral chakra. It's like you let emotions flow through you. You have a very open sacral chakra. And so it's like you're able to manifest emotionally fulfilling situations and you're able to move away from things. You're able to trust your gut. And a lot of the times it's like if we have a sacral chakra that we are connected with, we don't go into denial and try to pretend like we're happy in a life we're not happy in. And so people know this about you and they find it inspiring and really beautiful. And I think you have a lot of people that really appreciate and see this pure heart of yours. I feel like you have a lot of soulmates in this lifetime with you as well, is what I'm getting. All right, we're going to get some more Oracle. Healer of the Ages and Angel of Strength. I just cut the deck to those, but get a shuffle. What do people love about pile number 1? We have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So they love the words that you speak. I feel like you may have a really strong connection. I feel like you're able to offer people words of encouragement. And I think you're just very sentimental and loving to people. They feel like you're extremely intelligent as well. They feel like what they love about you is that you may like communicate what you're learning. With this humility and devotion to knowledge, I feel like you communicate on the revelations you have and you share your journey. There's this energy of no gatekeeping. Like you want to help other people and you want you want everyone to be happy. Like with the 10 of Cups, it's like you think that everyone deserves this. And so the words you speak to other people reflect back your belief in their abundance. And this is something that uplifts people. So it's like your words are really powerful, and just the fact that you believe in other people's worth, you see other people's light and you communicate this. So I feel like you're someone who, if someone was having a bad day, you'd be able to tell them exactly what they need to hear to get out of a mindset that was fear-based. It's like, yeah, you guys have a very open throat chakra. And the words you speak to other people affect them. It's like, I feel like this group is the type of group who might say something. You may even help other people with relationships, or you may give really good relationship advice as well. And it's like people can always trust you because they know the right people will trust you. You know, if they're not projecting onto you, it's like the right people know that you just have pure intentions. So they love that. The people feel very lucky to have you in their life. We have a woman holding a coin. So people love that they feel like you're abundant. I feel like this is the Four of Pentacles. People see that you are developing with the Empress here. They see you as very abundant. So I guess what people love about you is that not only do you have this emotional quality to you, but it was about that you ground it. You ground it into the physical world, and you act as a model of abundance, and you prove that there's this energy about you where it's like through your life, you prove that you can have both. Like you can have the emotional satisfaction and you can be physically abundant. It's like that's that Empress energy. It's like a blending of all of the different suits. And I'm really seeing all of them come through. Yeah, you're a really good blend of all of the suits, really. I do think your emotional suit is probably your most dominant one, but I do see that what people admire about you is that you've been able to, I'm hearing the proof is in the pudding. So it's like maybe certain people doubted you, or maybe certain people didn't think that your mentality or being so pure, like for example, some people could take your kindness for weakness or think that you're being naive, but there's this energy of proving that your vibration does have cadence within the 3D as well. Yeah, we literally have cornucopia. So people see you as just like incredibly abundant. People appreciate that you speak words that free them from their own limiting mindset. You really act as this channel of knowledge that helps people understand healthy relationships, helps people understand that they don't need to settle for less, or that because you believe in abundance, it's like you encourage other people around you for them to walk away from anything that is less than what they deserve. And you give people believe you. You know, there's a feeling that you model this, and so there's just an extremely beautiful, angelic, and connected energy, like divine energy about you. And it's spiritual, but it's also very grounded. So you come through as grounded. You come through as someone who's channeling, and with that temperance energy too, that almost wanted to come out. There's a feeling of you channeling the divine into the earth and standing as a model of this new way almost, or this, yeah, there's a really potent energy for pile number one. So it's an honor to have you here on the channel or listening to my channel. I'm going to get a sip of water. All right, we'll get a couple more cards and then we'll take it into the extended cornucopia, literally. There's so much abundance and so it's kind of interesting, like people love that about you, but it's like the 10 of Cups talks about abundance, and it's like if you look in this card, there's this beautiful home, but like what stands out so much is like the happiness and this childlike joy that I feel like you've never let go of. And no matter how old you get, there's just this energy of purity that never leaves you. And no matter, you preach this energy of not having to sacrifice your happiness for security. Yes. You show and you preach and you show by example that happiness can go alongside with physical abundance. And I think an old paradigm that the 3D is in is this very traditional way of not moving through your heart. And it's kind of this scarcity mindset of having to hold on super tight to material things. And it's like you've made sacrifices that have proved to be successful. Yes, we have a fearful world. So what people love about you is, even though there is this, literally exactly what I was just talking about, then at the bottom of the deck, be free, do what you love. It's like despite what we've been taught as we grow up, and despite the fears that are instilled in us, like telling us that this world is going to eat you up and chew you out, and you need to be defensive and put defenses up, and you need to, it's every man for himself. You basically, what people love about you is you're like this walking opposition to that mentality that keeps so many people tied up. We have all tied up at the back of the deck. So what people love about you is how you inspire them to free themselves from any mentality that limits what they're capable of, and especially when it's fear-based with the fearful world there. What do people love about pile number 1? Yeah, we have scary mirror. So yeah, what they love about you is you do really, it's like you reveal through your own divine nature, you wake other people up to their divine nature. Because the scary mirror card talks about how we always think it's someone else that has like psychic abilities. Or for example, when I was younger, I never thought that I would be doing tarot or something like this. And I was someone that was like super atheist and very logical. And if you would have told me this is what I was doing, like I would be in the scary mirror card, because you're one of those people that really, there's just this energy about you where you get other people to see that it's not so crazy, or it's not so unusual to have these mentalities of abundance and emotional, this feminine energy, this energy that's very intuitive and psychic and emotionally receptive. It's like, it's not so crazy of a path because you embody it and you show how it works. And we don't need to be afraid. We don't need to be so closed off, and we don't need to be, even if things don't work out for us, it's like there's always more, and there's always more abundance. You embody this, and people find it really inspiring. And also some people may find it triggering, especially if they're really caught up in this. I guess that's not what this is about, but I am just saying I do think people could find it triggering, because with a fearful world and a scary mirror, like some people aren't ready to let go of some of the egoic structures, that the more dense egoic structures, because we all have ego, and I'm not trying to say we don't. It's more like the very, very fear-based, letting the ego run the show is what I want to say. Is like, it's good to have a balance of ego. We all need it. It's healthy, but there's a sense that sometimes we are too much in our ego to a point where we're not able to listen to our heart or our emotions. We're not able to believe in like magic. We're not able to believe in spirituality and things like that. And then the world gets really dense. And so there's just this feeling of you being this breath of fresh air in regards to that. So that's what I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to look into who has secret feelings for you, who hasn't told you about their feelings for you, your secret admirers, what we're going to be looking into for the extended. However, this is what I have for the YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. If you did find something from this, it really does support my channel. It helps me better connect more specifically with your energy through energy exchange. If you can like the video, if you have time, I do love to read your guys' comments to see how this resonated with you. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Smoky Quartz and the Wild Unknown Tarot, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at what do people love about you, especially highlighting the traits that maybe you don't give yourself enough credit for. So please tap me into those that chose the Smoky Quartz Crystal. What do others love about pile number 2? Okay, give it a last good shuffle and then we'll get in. What do people love about pile number 2? Okay, we have the 7 of Pentacles coming out first. I'm hearing that you guys are very loyal and patient people. I feel like you guys are ride or die energy. Like, I feel like the people people really appreciate, you have a grounded energy that you bring to connections. Like, I feel like you're the person that, you're very reliable. People feel like they can count on you. We have the Hierophant. I feel like you may give people really good advice. I feel like you bring people back to reality. Something about the way that you give the people in your life guidance that helps them be more grounded and more realistic, and people really appreciate the wisdom. You may channel information, but there's just this feeling of you bringing a sense of stability and truth to the people around you. We have the Lovers and the Two of Pentacles coming out. Yeah, so I feel like something about you, there's just an energy here where you can give advice on the most loving thing to do. I feel like you point people in your life in the right direction. People feel like they can really trust you. There's a really trustworthy energy coming through, and a really balanced and grounded energy where it's like you're able to balance out matters of the heart. So I feel like you're very strong within your heart chakra, but you're also really grounded. And so it's like you bring this balance. It's like you help people figure out how to prioritize their life. Like, either people admire the way that you prioritize your own life, and the choices you make seem to come from this really wise place where it's like there's just this very empowered energy about you where it's almost like you help people get out of sabotaging habits that they maybe have for themselves. And I feel like you yourself have made decisions that maybe were harder, but it's like you always make a decision that's going to bring an outcome that is giving yourself the best chance to be grounded and happy. I'm also thinking about with the Hierophant, how the Hierophant um, is basically this energy that grounds the spiritual to the physical and gives it a practical application. And so there's just this feeling here that you do that for people. So it's like you ground this sense of unconditional love, but you're like practical about it. So there's just this very grounded energy that's like you take everything into account, and you have this like beautiful way of balance to you, of not neglecting one part of yourself. That's also with the Lovers here, which is a Gemini energy. We have Taurus and Gemini. But there's a feeling of taking into account opposites and making choices from a wise place and not being short-sighted. There's this energy where you're very wise and you don't make impulsive decisions. It's like you maybe do it sometimes. It's not the fact that you have it in your life, and maybe you haven't always been this way, but there's currently, I'm picking up that you've learned either in previous lifetimes or in this lifetime. It's like you know where to put your energy, and you're very practical and efficient is what I want to say. It's like you have an intuition about you that is very grounded, and it's like I feel like you would help people. It's like I feel like I would come to you and I could just tell you a little bit about my situation, and you would see it from all sides. You'd understand things about it, and you would give me the advice that is in my highest good. There's just a feeling here about that. Like you have really good intentions and you don't mislead people. It's like, if anything, you're able to see where maybe someone is too polarized. You have an energy where you blend together different kinds of energies and you bring like a peaceful resolution. You guys also might be like a peacemaker in general. Like I feel like you guys are very good at bringing opposite ideas together and finding like the middle point of balance or like the resolution. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're a helpful component to any group of people, because I feel like you're able to be that person that has the wise thing to say, or isn't taking sides but is staying neutral, and is thinking about like the investment of things. The Seven of Pentacles here, it's like you're very growth oriented, and it's like I feel like this energy of not having time for drama, and just kind of having like, what's the point of that? There's just a feeling that if something doesn't have a point to it, you're not going to just do it and waste your energy on it. There's a sense of efficiency that people appreciate. Yeah, we had the Ten of Swords. Yeah, and so what I'm getting from that, especially with the Seven of Pentacles, I feel like you're very good at seeing the worth of a situation and seeing if it's fertile or not. And I feel like what people love about you, you may have walked away from situations in the past that were not serving you, or with the Seven of Pentacles, you're very good at knowing when something's a dead end, and you don't waste time chasing something that you're being guided to move away from, and you move away from situations that aren't balanced and aren't fertile. So you're very good at knowing, you're very good at not getting like stuck in a cycle, or you're good at letting things end and being conscious with your energy, and not there's just a really strong like accountability that you take for your life that people love. You are very you don't blame the world, you know, like you take things, it is what it is, and you move forward and you make the best of situations. It's very mature as well. What do people love about pile number 2? Yeah, look at this, Temperance and the Three of Pentacles also coming out, which I'll take. Again, it's in the Two of Wands. There's such like a forward movement energy about you. Like you're able to move on from situations that were dead ends without getting caught up in that or staying for the drama. It's like with Temperance, again, it's that balanced energy that you bring to the table, and you're so collaborative, you know, and that was this is that energy I was getting in regards to any, you're such an asset to any group that you're a part of. Like you're able to blend differences and honor differences, and you're also very good at walking away from situations where other people aren't cooperative, or you can tell that it's not a balanced situation. And there's such like I'm on to the next energy. Like you don't stay in your fears. It's like it's very empowered. You feel very empowered and you feel very supportive, but you feel also like you don't put up with like BS, you know? Like if someone isn't honoring you, like it's going to be a quick you're going to quickly realize that and cut it off. So people appreciate the value you have for yourself. You seem to have a lot of self-respect and respect for other people. It's reflected outwards as well. And you're very good with your priorities. Like you're not going to prioritize situations that look good on the surface, but they don't have a real quality in them. There's just this feeling of you seeing things very holistically, and through that wide lens that you have, you just have this wisdom to you that people find very attractive, inspiring, very grounding, like, but you also are very loyal when you do assess that a situation is giving you what you need. But at the same time, like, you will bring equilibrium to a situation, especially if someone else is coming in with an energy that is very imbalanced. It's like you will do what you have to do to bring balance back to the situation. And if that means moving on to a different opportunity or a different relationship, it's like you're going to do that. You're going to choose the higher path. You don't choose path, like you don't make your choices from fear. You really make your choices from like an abundance mindset and a very realistic mindset at the same time. It's very abundance oriented, but it's also very like critical thinking. Like you have a lot of intelligence to you and a lot of experience. Maybe there's just this feeling that either you were born this way or you've developed this over time, but there's just this feeling that you just don't get distracted by superficial things. It's like you see through things, and you're very loyal to your morals. You're a very moral person, and people love that. It shines through in everything you do, and there's such a forward moving energy. There's a self-empowered energy that is really inspiring to people. I just want to get a sip of water. Let's see what else comes through. Look at this. I'm just seeing the Rescuer. It says the light attribute provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. Yeah, there's just this feeling of you being there for people, and maybe being that person that can like talk someone off the edge, or talk some in like not in a literal way, but like maybe actually in a literal way. Like I think you're someone who'd be really good to talk to if I was struggling with something. You bring a lot of truth and just like stability and like reliability and just like grounding. It's like there's just such a grounded energy. Even if you don't think of yourself that way, it's like there's something consistent about you, and something, it's like a really good blend of like the earth element and the water element. All right. And air, though, it's like there's a lot of intelligence as well. But like fire, I feel like the way that you channel your fire is like very purposeful. It's like to move your path forward, but at the same time, it's not used aggressively, I feel like. So what do people love about pile number 2? Okay, we have the child orphan, independence based on learning to go at it alone, conquering the fear of surviving. Yeah, so what I would see with that is that, okay, so I think maybe at some point in your life, like you may have become this way where it's like you're your own rock. And yeah, this is super true. So what I'm feeling here is it's kind of that energy where sometimes when we're unstable or like we're used to codependent situations, you're very good at overcoming the need for codependency, is what I would say. Maybe you haven't always been this way, but it's like what's coming through now is just this feeling of not staying in situations where you're just enabling yourself or you're enabling someone else. Does that make sense? So there's just this feeling of not, you never go against your morals or against your heart due to like root chakra problems. Because I feel like with the child orphan, at its worst, I do feel that it's like a root chakra imbalance where you don't feel very secure. So you may bypass how you feel about situations, or you may make decisions that are really aimed out of fear because you have like a root chakra fear. There's just this feeling here that like your root chakra is something that you've developed internally. And so it's like you are just this stability for the people around you, because it's almost like you're like a mobile root chakra. Like a lot of times, like we would be given a feeling of a stable root chakra by having people around us that really support us and are we can get that externally, right? So through like really healthy relationships. But if you didn't have access to that, it's like you may walk down a path of a lot of codependency and a lot of disempowerment and self-sabotage, but there's just this feeling that you've overcome that and you've learned how to make the right decisions for yourself, even if you haven't had support along the way. And I think that's what makes it extra remarkable. Oh my gosh, literally, yes, this is exactly what I'm getting at. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Yes. Like literally, this is, need I say more? Like that's 100% this energy is like, I almost just want to read it again. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating your power of spirit. It's like you'd rather take the spirit, you're so dedicated to your spiritual morals and your morals in general that you'd rather take the L on a like physical situation, like either like, let's say it's like a job that you hate, but it gives you money. It's like there's a feeling that you would move on from that. Let's say there's a relationship with someone that they provide you a sense of stability, but they don't treat you well. You're not going to like stay in that. You're not going to go against your morals for your root chakra, and that's kind of like this prostitute energy is like, because there's a lack of money and security, you're willing to give up sacrifice like other parts of yourself to get that security. And there's just this feeling that you trust in spirit to bring you to always reward you for picking the path of like your highest good. It's like you're very aware of that and you're always onwards, and it's like you don't settle for a situation where you're not being honored. And I think you encourage other people to do the same thing. We have scribe, preserving knowledge and information. People think you're very intelligent. This is like, you may be good at writing, or you may just be very smart with this Hierophant energy. Like I just get this feeling of you being like well read, or yeah, you just have a really beautiful mind. Like I feel like you're able to make a lot of connections. It's that like Gemini energy. Like I feel like you're very intelligent, basically. Like you're kind of like I feel like you're able to make a lot of connections between different kinds of information. So like, and it could even be like esoteric or like religious. Like I feel like you'd be the kind of person who would like study different kinds of religions and appreciate the viewpoint that it brings. And I feel like you also basically learn, you gain your own wisdom, and then I feel like you preserve that through giving it to other people. There's just such a feeling of you giving guidance to people as well. Okay, we have bully and detective here. Yeah, I feel like here, like there's a feeling of you what people love about you is just this sense of like not letting people bully you. Like you are the type of person, it says great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. And this also reminds me of the scribe. It's like you're very real, like you're so authentic. And I just feel like you're the kind of energy that's able to detect when someone around is undermining people or just being rude for the sake of being rude. You always double check it. Like you're the kind of person who wouldn't just take it personally if someone was like, it wouldn't work on you is what I'm kind of getting. Like I'm just getting this energy of like, and then we also have monk nun, single, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. I am getting that. But you always look further into things. I feel like you understand people's triggers. You understand people really well. I feel like you guys are very good at psychology or like good at understanding the depths of people, and like you never take things at face value. Like I feel like you understand the truth of something at a deeper level, and this helps you make your decisions in life. But there's just this feeling of you always knowing like what's behind something. So it's like, and this keeps you empowered. So it's like, I'm just really getting the energy of almost like someone that would stick up for someone that's being bullied, or someone that would like tell someone like, you know, don't let this person get to you. It's very obvious that this person is just being like that because of their own problems, and don't let this sink you or let this be something that's going to like distract you. It's like you give that empowerment to people, and like you double check, like you don't let people intimidate through their own shadow. You know, it's like you see people's shadow very clearly, and like I feel like you just have this energy where it's almost like calls out negative energies, because it's like you're not going to get triggered. And I don't know if it's always been this way, but there's just this feeling of like you having learned how to always pick the higher route and like turn the other cheek, and it always ends up exposing the people that, oh my gosh, I'm also getting with the scribe here. I feel like you tell it how it is, and you just are very you're someone that I would not want to mess with. You know, I wouldn't want to like mess with anyone, but I'm just saying like there's such a feeling here that like if someone tried to like gaslight you or something, like they would have a really hard time. You guys are very hard, a tough cookie to crack in regards to like getting you to react or getting you to like question yourself, because you know a lot of times when people have like a tendency to gaslight or like flip the script or flip the table, like let's say they did something wrong, now they're projecting, there's such a feeling that you guys are so good at being like, no, this is what happened in the situation, I'm not going to be sucked into like manipulation, so you know, and then you just disengage. You know, you don't even give people the opportunity to bully you into changing your mindset or in the people around you. So I think people feel like you give them a lot of strength and confidence, and you're a good role model for people to overcome like bullying and overcome taking things personally and self-doubt, like self-questioning yourself, you know, which is cool. What do people love about pile number 2? By the way, there will be an extended reading where we'll be looking into who is your secret admirer. So if you're interested in that, it's just going to be a fun reading, or we'll see who comes through. So I'll have that link down below if you feel like this is really resonating and you're interested. All right, what do people love about pile number 2? You guys would be like good detectives, I feel like. Like with the detective there, it's like I feel like you guys would be, you'd be hard to manipulate. Yeah, the thinking man. People think you're very, very intelligent. People feel very guided by you. Like they feel like what you say is very trustworthy and very well intended and also well informed. Like you're very informed. We have community. Yeah, again, there's something coming through of like you being someone that is like an asset to any community, you know. You may be a leader of some kind, but there's just the feeling that you bring people together and you're able to understand a lot of different kinds of perspectives of people. Yeah, I just think you guys are very collaborative with this community here. It's like I feel like you may hold down the fort, or you may be like the peacemaker, or not even the peace, not in a people pleasing way though. It's almost in like a matter of fact way. Like, I feel like you're the kind of person that it's like, okay, like without the drama, let's discuss this. Like, how can we move forward? You know, you're very solution oriented. We have caring connection. Yeah. Yeah. So people just see you as someone that is genuinely a really good friend or lover or person to work with. Like, they just feel like you have such good intentions and they can always rely on you, and there's just this really heart-centered energy about you, and like people feel very empowered with victory at the back of the deck. It's like they see you as like successful, or they see you as, and then angel of balance underneath, which I'm not surprised. You are like the angel of balance. That's literally what I want to call you. It's very hard to get you to be mean to people. Like, people maybe try to trigger you or try to get you like out of this energy, but like I just feel like you're so many steps ahead of people all the time, and you know who you are. You stand on your own 2 feet, you stand in your truth, and you do not let anyone, you know, push you off of the pedestal that you deserve to be on, you know. I just feel like it's very well earned the way people see you. And yeah, so that's what I have. Now we're going to look into who um, is your secret admirer. So if you want to see that, I'll have it linked down below, but this is what I have for the YouTube. If you have the time, it really helps out my channel to like the video. And if you can comment, I do love to see if this resonated for you and if you feel like this sounded like you. I really enjoyed doing this reading, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next Pick a Card reading, and I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the citrine raw crystal here and the tattoo tarot, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at what other people love about you, especially things that you may not give yourself enough credit for. So tap me into pile number 3's energy. What do people love about pile number 3? All right, pile number 3. What do people love about pile number 3? We have the 7 of Cups, the Knight of Swords. Okay, I'm getting that you guys are very like charismatic and maybe very funny. Like, I think people never really know what they're gonna get out of you. You're someone who keeps people on their toes in a way that's like very entertaining. Like, I feel like, yeah, it's like I feel like you guys have very hot takes on things, or people like to listen to the way you talk. Like, I feel like you guys are very you guys have funny mannerisms, or like you guys love to like talk. Like, something about your talking. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the Lovers. I feel like you guys like debate things a lot. Like, I feel like you guys would play the devil's advocate in a conversation. Yeah, you guys always see both sides, or like, not that you see both sides, but you guys will kind of play devil's advocate, or like, I feel like you guys would enjoy like debating things just like for fun. Gemini energy coming through. So maybe a very brainy energy about you guys. You guys may be philosophical, or just you like to kind of contemplate like different ideas. We have the Knave of Cups. Again, there's that silly energy. Like, there's just an energy here of like being very imaginative, very funny. Like, just like no one expects you to say the thing you're going to say. Like, you guys are very like impulsive, or like very funny, very like, you don't know what you think about something, and so maybe you don't take things very seriously. I'm getting kind of like a comic energy here. Okay, this is 3 cards came out. I don't know if I'll take these. Okay, I feel like you guys are very comfortable in a debate, is what I would say. We have the 7 of Coins and the Moon. I'll just take them. You don't mind like I'm getting this energy. It's King of Swords at the back of the deck. I'm getting this energy where like you guys would be like good lawyers. You guys would be good at, you guys are very clever, very strategic, lighthearted though at the same time. You guys analyze all parts of a situation. With the Seven of Pentacles, I'm almost getting with the Moon, it's like you guys might invest energy and thoughts into something even though like you don't really know where you're going with it. But it's kind of funny. There's a feeling here, you have a very independent mind. I feel like people, you love to explore the unknown. You guys, yeah, there's just a very like off the hook energy like about you guys, very charismatic and very I do think it is this energy of always, you guys are not very predictable. Like seriously, you guys are not predictable. People never know what you're going to invest yourself in. I feel like you're the kinds of people that would have very like funny stories to tell, or like it's always an adventure being around you. And yeah, you guys are very explorative people. Um, yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. I might clarify. Why is the Two of Swords here? Knight of Cups and Knight of Wands. Like, yeah, you guys are very like, I don't know, you guys might be a little bit younger, but there is a feeling here where you have like two sides to you. You know, there's this one like really emotional, kind of softy, like sweet side to you. There's also this like fiery side that it's like sometimes people don't know like what energy you're going to be in, but you're very magnetic. I feel like a lot of people would have a crush on you, or a lot of people fantasize. Yeah, a lot of people are very drawn to your energy just because you're very funny and like charismatic. And I feel like people maybe don't know if you're going to invest in them. So there's a feeling here like people know that they can't control you or like change your mind about something if you're really set on it. And sometimes people feel this sense of independence, so they don't know whether or not like you're fully invested in them or not. Like sometimes people don't know how much you care about them, and I don't know why it's like coming through as what it keeps people on their toes. Like that's what I would just say is like magnetic about your energy is like you don't know what side of you you're going to get, but it's very, people like would want your validation is what I'm getting. Yeah, there's just this unpredictable energy here and this like fantasy element to you. People very easily project a like it's like people would just love to understand why you are the way you are. They'd love to be the one that you're committed to because they feel this sense of like flighty energy in a way, even. So people are never sure with the Two of Swords. They're never sure who you want. Yeah, they are never sure if you really like them or something. Like, they're never sure who you're going to choose. And so it's like people really want to be the one that you choose, or this is coming through in like a romantic sense. So I think what your friends love about you is that you're very entertaining and always fun to have around and very off the cuff, unexpected. I think people romantically get fixated on you and they like want, there's like, you might inspire like pick me energy in people. Like people want you to pick them. People want you to feel sure about them because you're so sure about yourself. Like you almost come through that way. It's almost this energy where people may be like, oh my God. Like I feel like your friends would laugh at how much romantic partners like idolize you, because there's just this energy of you're not even trying to be seductive or like be super like magnetic, but like you are very magnetic. And yeah, people like to fantasize about you. People like to, they just find you so endearing and just so like charming. And yeah, it's funny. They like want, they feel like they want your validation. People frequently want your validation. Um, and it's almost like you have this energy where like people never know what you think about them, or people never know how you're going to act towards them. So they like want to try to control it or want to try to bring out a certain outcome. And it's almost like, especially if people were insecure around you, there's just this feeling that they'd want like your validation. They want victory with you. They may even want commitment. Like I feel like a lot of people would like chase commitment with you. Why is the Seven of Cups here? This is a different kind of energy. We have Temperance, then the Four of Coins, the Three of Wands. Okay, let me look at that. There's just this feeling that you're always shifting, or like you're always kind of, I don't know if it's like changing your mind. There's something here where it's like you're so open and explorative and like free-spirited, I'd want to say. Like I feel like you enjoy your freedom. And so people try to like cling on to you. They want to bring you into a state of like commitment or stability. Like they want stability with you, but it's almost because you are so free-spirited. Does that make sense? It's like they want to, I don't know, it's like you attract a lot of people that want something specific or like have an agenda kind of. Um yeah. Can we clarify the Knave of Cups? We have the King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, it's like you don't know what you want. So what people love about you is this childlike energy that you actually bring to the table. And I feel like you inspire other people's inner child, or maybe to like not take things so seriously. But it's like because you don't take things seriously, it's very polarizing or very attractive to people. Like with the King of Wands, it's like just showing me that it's like, I'm hearing he's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere plans, making all of his nowhere plans for nobody. And so doesn't have a point of view, doesn't know where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? And so just you bring this like kind of funny element to the table. This, for some of you guys, this may be someone that like you're interested in learning more about. Like if this isn't your energy, this might be someone you know, or someone that like maybe you feel kind of stuck on. But it's like kind of one of those energies where people will be like, I don't get like why people get so fixated on this person, or like people that aren't attracted. It's like, I don't understand how this person like puts people in such a frenzy. But it's almost this energy of like, who are they going to choose? Who do they like? Like, you know, this person doesn't need anyone, and so everyone wants them. Who are they going to invest in? It's a mystery. Like, who's this person going to put their actual effort in and time? It's almost like because you don't take things seriously, people feel like the most complimented they could be, the most validation they can get is like you taking them seriously. People just want your approval for some reason. Yeah. But regardless, people love having fun with you. People love having you around. You just bring a lot of entertainment, and you're one of a kind. You have a strong personality that like you can't miss. I feel like people would see you in a room, like if you're there. It's very, very clear when you're in a room. It's like they can't hold you down. There's just this sense of people wanting to create consistency out of you or create stability, but it's like that's just not your vibe. Like you're in this exploration energy. We have so many nights and pages that it's just like your inner child is very alive, and there's almost this energy of like, I don't want to grow up a little bit. But let's see what else comes through. What do people love about, oh, I'm hearing I got the magic in me. That's, yeah, you just kind of have like that energy where it's like very magnetic. Everything I touch now turns into gold. All right, what do people love about pile number 3? Okay, we have the mediator. So it says gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal life, respects for both sides of an argument. Okay, that's what I'm getting here with that Gemini energy too. It's almost like you don't like I don't know if you might even be someone who has like is everyone's friend, you know? Like again, that's the devil's advocate. Oh my gosh, literally I forgot I was saying you play devil's advocate. Respect for both sides of an argument. Like that, yes. Like people like how you're very intellectual and you just like exploring ideas, and like you don't get like offended. Like you're someone who is lighthearted but also intelligent. Like you have a lot of air energy to you. So I'd be really surprised if you don't have air in your chart. But that's that King of Swords energy too, kind of. People maybe like want you on their side is kind of what I'm getting to. Like you may like find that people are really wanting to like convince you of something, or wanting you to like be codependent with them, or like kind of take their side, but you just have this independence to you that like it doesn't matter how strong someone's coming in with their hot take. It's like you always see it from different angles, and that's that lover's energy too with Gemini. Kind of similar to pile number 2, but different as well. We have desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Yep, child divine, innocence, purity, redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine. Yeah, there's a really, I knew one of the child cards was going to come out because there's this magical energy, literally. I got the magic in me. But anyways, I guess like what's coming through with the Avenger here is like, it's kind of like a Robin Hood energy. I'm getting this energy of like Peter Pan as well, but like not necessarily in the toxic way, in the way that's more like I'm not gonna conform my thoughts to like being a pirate, you know? There's just this really strong like what's it called? It's like you're able to stay a little bit detached from different points of view. Like for example, I feel like, you know, when people get like really heated about a certain topic and they kind of just start destroying the other side, like you are very like aware when people's egos are being like really want validation. There's just a feeling here of like you just being like, nah, like I'm just gonna see both sides of this as I always do. Like I'm not gonna invest in your cause 100%. Like you might want me to like champion, but like the way I kind of protect my peace is by staying lighthearted and not really picking a side. There's just an energy where you don't really pick a side. You'll see both sides. Look, literally trickster, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Literally, yes. And child eternal at the back of the deck. 100% when I'm picking up. Like, you know how I was telling you, it's like people never know what to expect from you. And there's kind of this like funny energy where it's like the 7 of cups. It's like people never know what to expect. And it's exciting and funny, and it's like people want to tie you down and hold you down and like have you commit to like some sort of identity, but there's just this energy of like, no, like I'm free. Yeah, it says determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. You always see things with fresh eyes, and it's like and that's like that energy of refusing to grow old. Literally, it's like that Peter Pan, they're flying, like that gives me such energies. But it's just this feeling of like I'm not going to become this boring old person that is stuck in my ways and can't be free and can't roam and can't make a joke, make light of things. Like I never want to become this grumpy person, and that's what people love about you. They love that it gives you this air of like likability, that you're not so polarized in the way that you are, and you just, it's so hard to pin you down and be like, okay, like pile number 3 is like this, like this is who they are, this is what they're like. It's like you're just not like that. Oh yeah, we also have storyteller. I just picked it up. It says ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. I really feel like you guys are able to tell very funny stories, or you guys are very entertaining to listen to. And it kind of comes from this place where you don't have an agenda. Like you never have an agenda. And so, you know how it gets really hard to listen to people when you know the reason why they're saying something is because they want to like manipulate you, or they want to like paint someone else in a certain light. You guys are just so entertaining and so like well-intentioned, you know? It's like there's just this energy where it's like you are very pure, and the way you stay pure is by kind of like protecting your innocence, or protecting the fact that you don't have to commit to one way of thinking, or commit to one path, or commit to one person. It's like there is a non-committal energy, but it is how I feel like you maintain your sense of purity and openness. It's like you're very open, you're very accepting of different kinds of people, and you never want to be predictable, you know what I mean? Because it's like you want to reserve the right to be exactly however you want to be, and you always want to be able to kind of change that, which is, you know, it's kind of funny. Okay, where's the next deck? Right here. But 100% with the trickster energy, it's like you don't want to give people your plan. Like you don't give up your you're kind of elusive. You're enigmatic. And it's like you don't announce like what you're doing, because you want like a sense of freedom. What do people love about pile number 3? We have the thinking woman, the sun, we have financial constraints, and blossoming abundance. So what I'm feeling here with the thinking woman, I feel like people like how much you cause them to overthink. I think you're someone who like gets people fixated on you. So I'm really seeing that like I think you cause people to really overanalyze you and try to pin you down. But what is very clear, what people love about you is the energy you bring to any situation. I feel like you feel like an optimist, and I feel like you don't let any like constraints, like with financial constraints and blossoming abundance, it's like you're an optimist, I feel like. And you don't let yourself get too down in the dumps about certain things. So there's just this really like lighthearted, positive, you might be able to make people laugh really easily. You just bring happiness, and you just don't really want to get too burdened by like the responsibilities of life, even though we all kind of have to. There's just this feeling here of like hope and always knowing you'll be okay. And like, I'm just hearing why so serious. Like, you don't want to get so serious about things. Like, you don't want to have to grow up, or you don't want to have to. It's almost like this. It's like, yes, you recognize that there's responsibilities that you have to have in life, but you never want those responsibilities and like adulting to take away from like the moment and like seeing the bright side of things, and bringing this like happy energy instead of kind of predetermining that you're going to be like unhappy. You know, like certain people can get like stuck in this energy of like a self-fulfilling prophecy where like something negative happened and now you're kind of expecting something negative to happen. There's just this feeling where you take L's really well, like you take your losses, like you make a joke out of it, and you don't go into like this like mindset where you are now thinking that it's always going to be this way. You have a very mutable energy to you, a very flexible energy. And I do think people also think you're very smart at the same time. Like, I feel like people enjoy listening to you talk, you debate, like they want to hear what you have to say. They want to hear like what your new thing is. Yeah, there's just this really pure, fun-loving energy, and not taking life too seriously, like not taking things more seriously than is like helpful for certain situations. I do feel like you guys reluctantly do need to, what I'm also seeing with like it's something, I know I didn't like finish that sentence, but it's connecting to this. It's like the 9 of coins. There's a feeling of you never becoming rigid in your pursuit of like independence and financial stability. It's like maybe you've seen certain people in your life like have to become more closed-minded. Maybe like you've seen certain people equate like maturity and success with like being more rigid and responsible and like single-minded. You never want to lose your flexible mind and seeing things from all angles. You never want to lose that part of yourself, and people really find this probably really refreshing is what I'd want to say. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. We are going to be looking in the extended reading at who is your secret admirer, who has secret feelings for you. We're going to look at who this person is, how you might know them, why they like you so much, and why are they keeping it secret. And then we'll get advice for you on the connection as well. So if you are really interested in that, or just interested in what love opportunities you might have around you, I'll have it linked down below. But this is what I have for the YouTube reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you do have time, it means a lot if you can like the video, leave a comment. I love to see what feedback you guys have and see whether or not it resonated. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon.